Martial arts have been a part of my life. I was first, since a very young age, I was first introduced to martial arts, the concept of martial arts, if you like. I was probably 9 or 10. I started training formally when I was around 17 years old.
I'm Bryan Hayes. I've been training martial arts for about 40 years. Started when I was about 18 years of age. I run the Hunter Valley Martial Arts Centre. My rank is 7th Dan and teaching licence is Kyoshi or Master Instructor.
My name's Romany McGuffog. I've been doing Judoka Karate for 14 years. I started on my first day of high school. And I am now currently a 3rd degree black belt, hopefully going for my 4th degree at the end of the year, who knows, we'll see. And I was, as of last year, the year before, I was the head instructor for the Waters Bay Centre. But now that I have a full-time job working in mental health research, I've kind of stepped back.
Hi, I'm McKinnon. I'm a Chun instructor. My school is called Newcastle Chun, and I've studied for around 34 years. I've practiced a couple of other things just with friends, boxing and a little bit of karate and things like that. But I saw a demonstration of Wing Chun when I was around in my early 20s, and to me it just made so much sense, the directness of the movements or the efficiency of the movements.
When I grew up, you'd play football in the winter or rugby league where I in New South Wales. When I got to university, I was at training one night and these guys all walked past in these funny white pyjamas down to the Alp Muti Centre at the University of Newcastle to do their training. And I was fascinated. I was just gobsmacked at the athleticism of their instructor. He was a little Malaysian guy doing a traditional form of Taekwondo. It was Hapkido, and he was just, it blew me away with what he was able to do with his legs and his body. And so I enrolled and started doing it. And strange thing, because it wasn't fun as much as team sports are fun, because you don't get that same company with other people where you're running and yelling and getting off other people's stuff. It's all, and that fueled something I didn't know I had, that determination to be the best that I could be at something without ever having to rely on anybody else to get the team across the line. And for some reason I kept doing it for the rest of my life. And nobody did martial arts that I knew of. And even in the late 60s, I suppose early 70s, Bruce Lee movies were coming out, and it looked fantastic and extreme.
Look, yeah, I was influenced at a very young age. I don't know how many people could say this, but I can certainly say it. I don't know how many people would say, you know, I saw this movie and it changed my life. But at the very tender age of 9 or 10 years old, my older brothers took me to see a movie which was called Enter the Dragon. Now, Enter the Dragon was a martial arts movie. It was made by Warner Brothers with an up-and-coming star named Bruce Lee. And when I saw that movie, it impacted me so much that it really did set me on a course to doing martial arts. I just saw this really dynamic guy called Bruce Lee, really in a very dynamic and undeniable fashion just kick the crap out of the baddies. And he was a very slightly built guy, a very small guy. I was a slightly built kid and a small kid, so I really thought, look, here is a little guy, but he doesn't take crap from anyone. How good would it be to be like that? That you could just handle yourself in any situation, and no matter what came at you, you've got an answer for it. So it was really set me on a path that led me ultimately to studying martial arts directly.
From the start, I guess being a teacher and seeing that this was not just about kicking and punching. This was about developing character through kicking and punching exercises, I guess. And I could see that students' concentration, well-being, self-esteem, self-control. These things were very clear, even short-term benefits of studying martial arts. And I know myself that my journey to black belt taught me something priceless, and that was that if I could get my black belt, I could do anything. And surely that does a lot for your sense of efficacy of self, your ability to do anything as you're tasked to.
You might not be the fittest person in the room, but that's okay. You're just trying to improve your level of fitness. And so that's where the benefit is coming from, because instead of constantly trying to get to potentially an unattainable level, you're just trying to self-improve. And so that way you're coming up with your own things. You might be focusing on flexibility for you. So because you're only working to your level, it's more satisfactory. So you're leaving karate thinking, oh, yeah, I actually got to improve that little part, rather than, well, I'm still not as good as that other person. I'm still never going to make it to the competition level.
The benefit of martial arts, whether it be karate or Krav Maga or Wing Chun, is when you go to train, when you're in that space, then your focus has to be on the here and now. Your mind, they call it mindfulness. You have to be focused on what you're doing and where you are. The reason is you've got techniques that you have to do, apply, think about on various levels. If you're training with a training partner, then if you're exchanging techniques or blows or blocks or whatever the thing is, then you have to be mindful of what's happening in the here and now, or you might get hit, he might get hit, someone might get hurt.
Everything we do and the forms we do are a form of mindfulness and the calming of your mind. So I think in general, if you can take those aspects into your general life, then you can catch yourself out when you're getting too tense or too reactive to what people might be doing or saying, and I think it creates an awareness of how to get hold of your thoughts and control your own mind.
Mindfulness is all about living in the present moment, breathing and trying to just get out of your brain for a minute and think about the outside world. Well, that's what we do in karate every day. That's how you do any kind of form, is you have to focus on your breathing and center, and you can't think about other stuff. So we're kind of inherently doing mindfulness every time we do martial arts. So therefore, we're getting benefit out of that.
Humility, I think that's very important, to understand that whatever skill level you might achieve, there's always someone better. And I think that the way that martial arts are structured, the ones that I've been involved with anyway, humility is a part of it. And I know that training here in Australia with some really, really great guys in both karate, it was a great experience for me there. And then more recently in Wing Chun, training with some really great guys and very skilled and all of that. And then you go to, there's always someone better and there's always more to learn. And when you stop learning, you stop growing. So to accept that there's always more to learn, and that I'm a student of martial arts as I'm a student of life. So I think that there's another element there, the element of humility and the element of always being open to more learning.
Karate definitely is a way of life. I don't see it as a sport. I don't see it as like my little hobby that I go to in the afternoons. For me, there's so much more to it. And I think this is also where you get improvements in mental health, because not just are you getting the physical benefits of the breathing, the flexibility training, the fitness training, but martial arts is really big on community. And that comes from that, particularly from that traditional style. So when we go in there, even if I've had the worst day at work, or, I'm having issues at home or whatever, everyone there is so friendly. We all come together, and it just it builds you up. So you're getting that kind of social benefit of having people around you who support you.
It's quite interesting to see the progress that students make, and it's quite humbling to feel that you've helped them, and a lot of people express that it's helped them not only in feeling safer out on the streets or feeling that they're capable of doing the martial art. It's great for your well-being, it's great for your health, and it's great for your mind.
And anxiety is a pandemic in the world. You can talk about COVID-19, but anxiety is, we've gone crazy with anxiety. And any teacher will tell you that kids are more anxious than they used to be. And we are more anxious as young adults and older adults than we ever were before. What's going on? When it comes to anxiety, what I can do is teach people to get their centre back. That is, when I feel stressed, not to seek third-party help, but to ask help from within. That is, I know that I can choose to breathe. I can get my centre. I can relax. I know how to arrange my body so it's in its most relaxed state, and hopefully then my mental processes follow. And that's something that karate does, and that's that active mindfulness that I think is really important. You could do meditation, but you could also move in a way that's harmonic in your body. And that active mindfulness is a really important part of martial arts that often gets forgotten.
This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.